What is going on, guys? Welcome to the NoFaceCrypto channel. Where's NoFace new case? Oh my god, I'm all over the place. Look at me. You feel me? There's a million things I could choose from, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, right? I've been a little bit outside of the fold, if you will, since I've really taken a bigger focus on ZBEC this last month or so, I would say. But with that being said, that does not mean I am MIA. I'm still DCAing. I'm still using the networks. I'm still, active in crypto. It's just I'm not really talking about it too much. And so I haven't, also my X account is banned. And so I haven't really given too much of a fuck to look too much into what is going on right now. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. Just understand that I'm never lacking. Like, I see these prices, okay? I'm not lacking. I've been very focused on some things outside of YouTube, crypto, etc. In general, just trying to increase the amount of cash I can DCA with. And that's the easiest way to put that. But with that being said, right, I have a career outside of cryptocurrency that I happen to enjoy. And I think at a time like right now, where there's crazy stuff popping off 24/7, guys, like, you just got to kind of hone in, lock in, and just find a craft, do something, focus on something, right? And I think right now, better than any time, is to go ahead and do something that you really, truly want to do. Because what the fuck is there to lose, guys? What is there to lose? I'm driving home today. There's gas is $4.18. I should I wait till tomorrow? Because that's what I did. I'm gonna wait till tomorrow, but it might be $4.50 tomorrow. It depends who sends the missile. Like, this is really where we're at right now, guys. And it's not like I can't afford the gas. It's just like, should I wait? Should I not wait? I don't want to be like, I want to get the best deal here. It's just like crypto, but I don't know what to do. 418 a gallon right now is a little crazy work. Maybe it's a lot different where you guys are. Around me, they're taxing. They tax. So, I could wait. It's going to go up in price. Doesn't matter, right? We know gas is flipping shit right now. Obviously, I understand about 48 hours ago, Trump put out some announcements saying we're going to wipe out an entire civilization. Obviously called us bluff. It is a bluff, obviously. We're not going to just go nuking people. That's crazy. Stop. But it seems that they've come to some sort of ceasefire for 2 weeks. And I haven't really been paying too much attention, but what I've heard is that ceasefire was already broken. It's ridiculous. We got Pam Bondi getting removed from the White House, a bunch of crazy stuff going on. All I can tell you guys is, in a time like this, is to really just focus on these prices in a time where, I know people tell you not to focus on prices, but these are low prices. If there's a time to DCA and get your money's worth, it's probably right now. All due respect. Now let's move on to something a little bit more important. Flare's new utility proposal. We're not going to get the full steak and potatoes in this video, but I can let you guys know what is coming down the hatch. There's a lot of new utility upgrades coming to the Flare network and Flare itself. And it could bring a lot of usage and some price appreciation to the product as well. But that's just speculation, not financial advice. Ladies and gentlemen, this was announced on X and recognized by the Flare community. Hugo Filion himself has recognized this. Flare knows this. Just because I'm on X doesn't mean this didn't happen. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here to officially announce to all of you that I am taking chief and command of Flare Force 1. You heard that right. Commander and Chief No Face of Flare Force 1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the NoFaceCrypto channel. Let's lock in. Let's hop in the plane. You feel me?
This motherfucker is locked.
All right. I need everyone in the Flare community to step aside. The B2 Bombers is in the building. I'm here. And respectfully, I'm going to let King Karan just start this off quickly. Get me started, right? They just tapped me back in action. I was off in enemy territory, dropping off bombs on their ass. So I had to come back to refuel. And this is where we're going with it. Go ahead, King Karan, take it off.
Reminting. There will be FLR attached. Everything what is going to happen with F assets, it can be F Bitcoin, it can be F Litecoin, it can be F Doge. Every single F asset that will be minted on the Flare network, you are going to see that FLR will also benefit from it. And the more transactions will happen, the more mintings will happen. Every data that also comes in on Flare or every smart contract execution will be benefited by Flare. And this will change the game for once and for all. But just to let you guys know, every smart contract execution, every data that comes in of Flare is already benefiting Flare. But now with the mintings, it's going to be on a next level because we already see that we have massive demand on the Flare network. As you can see, a tweet over here from Flare, 150,521,462 FXRPs are already minted, but 85% is already locked in DeFi on the Flare network. And that shows you enough that people are minting FXRP not just to hold, because otherwise it's just useless because, yeah, it's XRP on the Flare network, but you need to make it work. So 85% is already working, is already earning yield. And that shows enough. Flare built a machine. The activity is real. The value is here. Systemic value capture will be the next unlock.
Guys, I just want to pose a thought process to you, right? How many times have you seen in crypto a coin go from absolute double zeros all the way the fuck up? It happens. All right, now I want to pose another question. Right? We're at double zeros. We have other shitty projects who we know about at double zeros. This is real utility. I'm going to show you guys the utility in a second. And I know this coin from the outside looking in might look dead. This thing's just getting started. For real this time. We're not talking about no bullshit project. This is real shit. Excuse my language. I'm just... These guys get me in a mode, bruh. 78% down all time. Yes, this coin is dead right now. And that's why I'm buying a fuck ton of it. I'm sorry. If I'm incorrect in the end, then I apologize. Maybe not too much, but it's worth looking into. Let me show you exactly why. Now, I could sit here and show you guys all the way I'm using Flare and FXRP at this very time. But here's what I can tell you because your boy is a little busy right now and I don't really got the time to pull that stuff up. So here we go, right? On Zaman right now, I'm currently utilizing the Flare Smart account. At some point in time, it has been stated by Flare that on these Flare Smart accounts, you'll be able to basically essentially interact with anything that is going on the Flare network straight through Zaman. And we already have one example of that right now with the smart accounts getting about 3.5% yield. It is not really paying off at all, but it is just a proof of concept at this point, and it's proven to be working. So we will see what happens with that in the future, but you guys will be listening to Hugo Filion speak about that very quickly at XRP Australia, which is something that we did not really get a chance to cover. And so that will be very interesting for you guys to listen to. In addition to that, I am taking Flare already just by itself and throwing it into pools, getting some yield on that as well, which is paying off. You know, I've probably made about 3,000 Flare back, which isn't too much, but it's better than nothing. I've gotten some FXRP back in that as well, like 2 or 3, nothing crazy. And I've gotten a little bit of yield back in that Zaman Smart account. In addition to that, there's something else I am doing as well, which I am doing the Firelight protocol, where I am receiving my staking XRP tokens, and those tokens can get double dipped into yield, used for something like Upshift or any different protocol that they have going on, which I have not actually investigated too much, but I will be jumping into that. So we now have the ability to double dip the yield we are getting from the staked XRP. And I know this sounds like a lot of mumbo jumbo, but if I were to show you guys and try and explain it to you in a video, it could take like a half hour. So forget about it. Just understand there's multiple different directions this is about to go. And XRP was the first test of that. Now, when Hugo goes to start speaking about this, you guys are going to notice how bullish this actually is and how big this goes, because XRP is not the only asset that this is going to happen to. It's going to happen with Bitcoin. It's going to happen with ETH. It's going to happen with Solana. It is going to happen with every major crypto asset, and Flare is going to be the ones doing it. Flare is a very unique project in the space, and I think people need to start giving it a little bit more thought. Just because it's at double zeros right now does not mean it is bullshit, although that is easy to just suggest. So let's listen to Hugo speak for a second, and then we're going to just close out this video. I know it's kind of all over the place, and I apologize, but your boy is busy, and I'm going to cook this weekend. I promise you guys, I'm going to cook this weekend.
Our DeFi ecosystem is very wide and very broad. We've had about 2.5 billion of DEX volume in the last year, and as we added FXRP only in September, we think that DEX volume will increase really quite dramatically. And so we've had about a 600% year-on-year growth in the ecosystem. So what can you do with FXRP on Flare? So we try to cut this down into various different categories of things. So your basic things are DEXs, a bit like the XRP DEX, the DEX on the XRPL, but more of them, different types of risk strategies. Perps, you can use XRP to take a derivative position in an asset of your choosing. Money markets, you can lend your XRP or you can borrow dollars against it. Both a fork of Compound called Kinetic and Mystic, which is a more recent protocol but has seen huge institutional traction. You can create a stable coin directly from your XRP. So a decentralized stable coin. You can deposit XRP and you get a stable coin out. And when you want to undo that, you just pay back the stable coin that you effectively borrowed against your XRP. We've also extending FXRP onto other ecosystems. So we've launched spot markets for FXRP against USDC and USDH on Hyperliquid. It's getting quite nice volume. Our goal is for FXRP to be effectively the ubiquitous version of XRP on other smart contract chains, not only Flare. And then we've incubated an application called Firelight. Firelight is a DeFi coverage protocol. It allows you to effectively stake your XRP without having to do anything else. And they provide DeFi coverage for applications across the ecosystem. This is absolutely critical to institutional involvement in DeFi. So it uses XRP to provide coverage across the ecosystem for which you get a yield for the use of your XRP. And then lastly, we've tried to make it much more simple by providing vaults. So all the stuff on the left is things you can do, but it's quite complicated. If you want to be able to enjoy it, but you don't want to have to do all the transactions, make your own strategies, think about monitoring your collateral levels and all that kind of stuff, you can put it in a vault. And the vault goes and effectively does that for you through people that manage that on your behalf. Critically, unlike other vaults, the vaults are only able to do on-chain strategies. So it's all on-chain. It's not taking your XRP. It's not putting it on a centralized exchange, trading it, and all that kind of stuff. It's a vault that is for on-chain strategies only. So one of the things we've worked very hard at is, okay, you've got two ecosystems. You've got the XRP ledger and you've got Flare, and they're a bit different. They have different tech. They have different ways of doing signing and all that kind of stuff. So you have to provide bridges between the two. Wallets are those bridges. We started with Bifrost. We've also incubated Luminite. Oxen Flow has been built. We've tried to integrate Ledger and Trezor. But most importantly, today we introduced smart accounts. And I'll come on to that in 1 second. But we've got about 853,000 active addresses, on-ramps and off-ramps in 50 countries. So smart accounts, what is this? Smart accounts are effectively using Flare with your XRP and potentially other assets from the XRP ledger over time without ever having to touch Flare. You use your XRP wallet, the one you want to use, which is, at the moment we're supporting Zaman, and you make a transaction on the XRP ledger. And it acts as a remote control for Flare. So you never have to touch Flare. You don't need to own Flare. You just make transactions on the XRP ledger. It uses Flare's data protocols to pick up those transactions, and it submits it to a controller account on Flare. And so this means effectively the UI for Flare with regards to XRP is pretty much the best UI you will get for any use case of XRP off of the XRP ledger. It's non-custodial, it's secured by our oracles, and we're using it in order to build new products and effectively a yield product. So today we launched this with Zaman, and we've already seen, I think, $2.5 million of additional XRP onto Flare. Now, only one. You can deposit to the Upshift Vault, which is a yield product. We will be increasing the capabilities of the accounts over time so that eventually you'll be able to do any transaction that you could do on Flare, you'll be able to do it directly from the XRP ledger.
All right, I hope that kind of brings you semi up back to speed with what is going on with Flare, right? Obviously, we have these smart accounts coming. Firelight Phase 2 is coming, and the new utility proposal is basically here at this point. And we know that they are basically completely reworking what Flare is meant to do. It is not going to be an inflationary asset at this point. So we will see what is going to happen specifically with Flare, the asset, and not just the network. But this is supposed to bring a lot of utility to Flare itself as well. And we just have to wait and see, guys. What's also very important now is the private credit market and these AI facilities. You guys need to see this shit real quick. And then I'm going to get out of here. I want to make another announcement real quick that my very first article has been released on Medium. Is concerning London and the eco war on the American people. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the link in the description to that below and in a pinned comment below as well. Please make sure to go check that out. Let me know what you think. It's not perfect, but nobody is. Am I right? So I will catch you guys in another video. You feel me? But y'all got to hear this clip real quick, and then I'm going to get out of here. You feel me?
In global finance, which is the Bank for International Settlements, basically the central bank of central banks, just published a paper saying that big tech's private credit deals amount to shadow borrowing. Here's what that means. Meta, Microsoft, Amazon, they're setting up joint ventures and special purpose
I ain't gonna lie, he kind of looks like Luigi, guys. He kind of looks like Luigi, bro.
vehicles with private credit firms to build data centers. But they're structuring the deal so the debt doesn't show up on their balance sheets, but the banks are still providing the funding lines underneath. So if anything goes wrong, a refinance crunch or a downturn, the shock travels from the tech company to the private credit fund to the insurance companies and pensions funds backing it, and then to the bank supporting the whole structure. And the Bank of International Settlements called it a new shock transmission channel. They're basically saying we built an invisible bridge between AI infrastructure and the traditional banking system, and nobody's stress testing it.
I'm the cipher inside the system, encrypted rhythm, algorithmic wisdom. Bankers panic when I twist the prism, cause I decentralize the mechanism. Ledger lock, my code immaculate. Truth so sharp it decapitates. No fiat fate, lie emancipate. XRP flow, recalibrate. Invisible king with a digital throne. Phantom of finance, flesh and bone. I rise from data, self-made, self-known. Unshaken, I move in the zone. They manipulate, I meditate. They inflate, I innovate. They speculate, I educate. I'm the glitch they can't eliminate. Low-res crypto, masked in motion, riding the wave like quantum motion. XRP devotion, pure explosion. Phantom of finance, fully low-res crypto. Chain reaction, breaking control, pure satisfaction. No middleman, just interaction. Rebel of rhythm, blockchain faction. From Tokyo ticks to London trades. My name echoes in crypto raids. I'm the anomaly, markets crave. Silhouetted in code, I misbehave. Monetary matrix, I override. Quantum ink where the truth can't hide. They kneel to debt, I walk with pride. NoFaceCrypto, decentralized guide. Every drop of fun, I distill the flame. Every smear campaign fuels the game. They'll remember the ghost, not the name. Cause legends don't chase, they claim. Go, ledger ignite. Phantom in flight. bright. Can't see me, but feel my mind. No face crypto, phantom protocol. Standing tall while empires fall. Central chains can't cage it all. Unshaken faith, I break the wall. No face crypto, so immortal. Through digital doors, I breach the portal. Untraceable force, transtemporal. Phantom of finance, suiting and racks. No face crypto. No banks, no borders, no masters. Just vision and velocity. The world's asleep, but the phantom never rests street.